Hey everyone, today we are back and we're talking about skincare. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Elena Yordan and I love all things natural, but specifically essential oils and essential oil-based products. If you haven't been here before, today's going to be a great introduction for you. Everyone's looking to maintain their skin, especially as we change seasons. So if you are living in a temperate climate and you're going into the colder season, or maybe you're living in a temperate climate and you're going to spring, you're just coming out of winter and you're thinking, my skin really doesn't look that great. Here's the other thing. Let's say you live in a climate that's close to the equator and really year round, you have that kind of beautiful, dewy, humid weather that keeps your skin looking really well. Everyone wants to look beautiful for the holidays, and skin is no different. So you can have a beautiful dress on and fabulous makeup, and gentlemen, you can have a brand new suit on and a brand new haircut, but if your skin is looking tired or dull or just really not that great, you're going to not show up at your best. So today is about getting ready for the holidays and using a little bit of extra zip, if you will, on your face and your complexion. And ladies, we're going to be talking about using those essential oils all the way down to the décolletage, because we want to make sure that we're maintaining our skin wherever it's going to be seen, right? We want to look good and we want to maintain our skin texture and tone, especially as we age. And of course, no one's getting any younger. Just saying. So you want to maintain your skin no matter what it is that you're doing. Today, we are talking about the essential oils specifically for skin. We're going to share also some information about some products. I want to make sure that you know that there's a lot of opportunities for you to get to know the products today if you're not familiar with doTERRA products. So this is part of our wellness education series. We're talking about essential skin care. First of all, you want to understand your skin. What are some of the things you love about the skin you're in? And if you're on live, I'm going to ask you to just kind of throw those in the chat. If you're watching this later on and the recording, please comment in the comments below. And what are some of the things you want to improve? Our skin is the largest organ in our body, and it acts like a sponge to the outside world. It can absorb things like harmful chemicals found in many consumer products, or even things like pollution and dirt right out of the air. But what we put on our skin is actually super important. It's really as important as what we eat, because when we put it on our skin, it is actually absorbed into our bodies. So I would say myself, some of the things that I love about my skin, I've been blessed with really good in general skin, not too oily, not too dry, not too wrinkly, just good skin texture, really super blessed. Even since my teenage years, I've never really experienced a lot of breakouts. And I know that's not the truth or the reality for many of you or for many of our listeners, and I want to honor that. The other thing that I would say is some of the things I want to improve. For me, it's not as much improving my skin as much as improving my consistency. So I find that I, every single solitary day, put on moisturizer, and every single solitary day, I clean off my makeup at night. So those are two things that I'm doing, absolutely. But could I be using things like maybe an eye cream or using some other essential oils to brighten my skin? Probably, but I'd have to be able to do those consistently, because as we all know, skin is like any other health remedy that we're going to undertake. We want to do it not only once or twice or for a couple of days. We want to do it on a consistent basis, because that's when we really begin to see results. Now, many of you I know love gua sha and use it religiously. And I think gua sha can be a wonderful addition to everything that we're going to talk about today. There are several types. The first thing I want to talk about as we get started is the types of moisturizers that we're going to talk about. And this is something that I haven't really discussed in a long time. We haven't talked about skin in a while, which is why I wanted to talk about it today. There are 3 different types of moisturizers. The first one on the hit parade are humectants, and humectants draw water into the top layer of skin. They tend to be our thinner moisturizers. So I'm thinking about your lotions, anything that's maybe could drip easily out of a bottle, that's going to be your humectant. Second type are your emollients. They're going to help fill the cracks and seal in the water to provide a smooth, soft complexion. So when I'm thinking about some of our richer, deeper, thicker creams that we use either on our face or on our body, and doTERRA has several, I'm going to talk about them in a little while. Those are your emollients. So think of kind of runny, and then think of maybe thick or whipped, whatever. And the third are our occlusives. And actually, doTERRA only has one occlusive, and an occlusive provides a thicker protective barrier to prevent water loss. Now, we don't usually use occlusives on our entire body because we want to be able, we want our skin to be able to breathe. However, occlusives absolutely have a place in our skincare routine, and using them infrequently and using them where needed, they can provide healing and beautification, I think, of the skin, especially if we're experiencing some kind of skin crisis. So we're going to talk about all three, but I wanted you to clearly understand what's the three differences that we see when we talk about what types of creams and emollients we have. So let's talk a little bit more. So humectants work best for dry, thick skin in climates that are very humid. So many of you who are listening to this are probably in Southeast Asia or near to the equator in some way. You may be living in the United States, in Florida, or maybe in Texas. Humectants act as a good first layer of moisture, and they are terrific because they're good for combination skin. And when I think of this, I think of the Virage line, which we're going to talk about in a minute. When you think about emollients and kind of filling the cracks and sealing in the water, they're going to provide a smooth complexion, right? So these are for extremely dehydrated, mature skin that needs serious moisture. So I have to say, especially as I'm going into the winter, so during the summer, I've been using Virage. As I'm moving now into the winter, I'm using something a little bit heavier. And even in my body creams and lotions, I'm using something a little bit heavier. So I'm going to be using our body butter. I'm hoping that we have, I still actually have a tiny little bit of the carrot body butter from last year, and I'm savoring it because it's so luscious and wonderful for my skin. And then finally, when we talk about occlusive, we're talking about a thicker preventive barrier. In our case, when we talk about doTERRA products, we're talking about Correct X, which is almost like it's a greasy consistency. You're not going to be putting that on your whole body. But if you're suffering any sort of crisis in your skin, maybe a burn, maybe a cut, maybe a type of a rash or something, or severe irritation, Correct X is going to be your product. Okay, let's talk a little bit about redness. So redness comes from a variety of things. Most noted are an inflammation. They can come from food inflammations. They can come from abrasions. Redness can be part of an inflammatory condition that we may be troubled with. Some of the products that I want you to consider are Yarrow Balm in the liquid form, right? Correct X, frankincense, and helichrysum. Now, you can do a couple of different things. You could be mixing those three essential oils into the Correct X and applying it. It will help you with the redness. If it's a inflammatory condition, you want to make sure that you're doing a patch test, and that you're using very small amounts of the essential oils when you're applying it. So don't make a big concoction with 20 drops of frankincense and 20 drops of helichrysum and then 20 drops of the Yarrow Balm and a whole big mess on an entire tube of Correct X, and then tell me, oh my gosh, it was so harsh on my skin and my skin was uncomfortable. No. Start small. Really start small. You might even start by adding one essential oil at a time and just diluting with fractionated coconut oil until you can create a blend that's going to be right for you and your skin. And everybody knows what the sensitivities of our skin what our skin may be. I'm looking at some of the comments, and many people are saying, or I'm getting comments that sometimes it's dry in Singapore, or that their skin gets dry. So we want to make sure that we're addressing all of these conditions as we go through our different products. Let's talk a little bit about scars. We're looking again at our Yarrow Balm and our frankincense. This time we're adding geranium and neroli, and we're looking at our roll-ons. Why? Because our roll-ons, number one, are easy to apply, and number two, they're pre-diluted with fractionated coconut oil, so we're getting that extra emollient structure. Now, we know that Yarrow Balm is a combination of yarrow essential oil and pomegranate oil. Pomegranate oil is a fatty oil. Yarrow palm is an essential oil, and the two of them together work very well to soothe the skin. So scars usually fade over time. You want to be able to minimize them as much as you can and help them to reheal and to be reabsorbed into the skin. Help the healing process, decrease the size, right? If you have a scar that's in a very prominent place, it may be maybe uncomfortable for you. Maybe you've got to disguise it a little bit. I mentioned in one of my earlier videos that when I was traveling over the summer, we were staying in a room that had a little, I guess, a cocktail table in front of the sofa. And at least twice going around that sofa, I banged my shin really hard and made kind of like just, a really big scrape right on my shin. Of course, I was wearing dresses. I was there for a wedding. And so I had to quickly cover it with makeup. I didn't have enough time to actually heal what had happened to my skin. But since I got home, I've gotten home, I've been actively applying things like yarrow palm and other roll-ons, frankincense, of course, even some cypress to increase circulation to that area. Scars are going to take a while. And if your skin is abraded in an odd way, it will usually take you a little bit longer. And obviously, the younger you are, the faster you're going to heal. The older we are, it's just going to take us a little longer. It's just kind of the way it is. I'm sorry. Okay, let's talk a little bit about breakouts. As I mentioned before, I have not been troubled with too many breakouts. I am going through a fairly stressful period right now, and I noticed that I'm actually having a few breakouts right here on my chin. Probably can't see because I've covered them with makeup, but you really want to make sure that when you're going through stress and you notice what your triggers are, that you're able to address the triggers. We want to address the skin and help it to heal, but we also want to address what our triggers are. And triggers usually for breakouts are food sensitivities, hormones, bacteria, and maybe stress. So recommended products would include the HD Clear products. Here you're applying, the recommendation here is to apply 3 of these products, the HD Clear, the Melaleuca / Tea Tree, or the Rose, or the 3 of them together. I would also be washing my skin with the HD Clear products and using those combinations to keep my skin really clear. Also, the other thing that sometimes people tend to really scrub their skin a lot when they have breakouts. Really, you don't want to aggravate your skin too much. Using a cloth, perhaps, not a brush, a scrubbing brush. I've seen people actually use brushes on their face. Be gentle with your skin. And it is really not only your face, it's the face that you present to the world. So be kind to your skin and treat it gently. I know as I was growing up, my mother, as I mentioned before, my mother has beautiful skin, even though she's in her 90s. And she was always of the mind of less is more. So if you're a person who's been doing a very extreme routine with multiple steps, maybe it's time to look at that routine and say, could I simplify a little bit? Okay, let's talk about brown spots. So usually these have to do with sun exposure or aging or other hormonal pigmentation issues. Sometimes ladies or men, but ladies specifically, will notice brown spots during or right after a pregnancy. Aging, of course, can cause brown spots, and certainly sun exposure. When we think about those things, we want to think about frankincense, lavender, sandalwood, and black spruce. You can be blending those together. Again, I would be applying these 4 oils with a fractionated coconut oil. None of these oils that I'm showing actually have any emollients in them. You could add a roll-on, you could add a jasmine roll-on, you could use the frankincense in the roll-on, but all 4 are going to work effectively for kind of lightening those bright spots, those darker spots. Sandalwood specifically, and whether you have Hawaiian sandalwood or the other sandalwood, which I can't remember the name of right now, maybe I'll post it in the comments. The sandalwood will help with healing. Sandalwood has traditionally been known as a healing remedy for skin. Let's talk about aging. Well, we're talking specifically about things like wrinkles, lines, loose skin. Now is when this is where your gua sha is going to really show up. The goal is to age more gracefully using natural products. If you can possibly use your gua sha effectively, there are a lot of videos online using it to basically firm up the neck and the jawline and all of the places on the skin or on the face where you feel like you're seeing a little bit of drooping or sagging or just you're not as happy as you used to be with the way your skin looks. And look, you're not going to look like your 25-year-old self, but can you look as best as you can at the age you were at? And I think the answer is yes. Now, we know that through the new MetaPower products, you're going to be ingesting, specifically the MetaPower Advantage, you're going to be ingesting collagen. Collagen is a wonderful addition to your routine, daily routine, not only for the skin on your face, but the skin all over your body, for tightening, for your interior organs. Keep up using that collagen and you're going to really see amazing effects on your skin. I'm kind of far from the camera, but I think you can see I've been using the MetaPower since September 21st, every single day. And I really feel like, I don't know, it's helping me. For me, I've seen it more in terms of relaxation, less stress. And I think my skin is actually getting better, which is an amazing thing because I think my skin was never really bad. But here we've got our frankincense again, our Immortelle, Neroli, and myrrh, using those four together for any aging issues. Okay, let's talk a little bit about beauty from the inside out. And this goes back again to why LLV is a foundational hero product. Anything that we're doing really has to be supported through our diet. And depending on what you eat or when you eat or how much you eat, it does affect what kind of minerals and vitamins that we're ingesting. We want to be getting our vitamins and minerals, our essential oil, our essential omegas, and also our antioxidants on a daily basis. And beginning to as we pass the age of, say, 25 or so, we're not able to form many of the building blocks, if you will, of good skin the way we were before. When you're growing, your skin is constantly dividing and getting fresher. You see that dewy look that many young girls will have, and young boys too, just that beautiful, fresh skin. And we lose that ability. So we want to be able to refresh ourselves from the inside out. So I take LLV every single day. Some of the foundational skin nutrients are right there on the screen, things like lutein or coenzyme CoQ10, vitamin A, the vitamin C, E, and K, zinc, and vitamin D. All of these are formulated in this wonderful 3-pack, and they are balanced. What I love also about this is it's not a super vitamin. So I never wanted to take one of those mega vitamins where it said, I don't know, 35,000% of vitamin C or some other vitamin. We don't need those jumbo mega vitamins. Really, we just wind up excreting all of the extra vitamins, and it's very hard on our liver and kidneys. We want a vitamin that provides us with enough for us to support ourselves on a daily basis, but not something that just creates havoc with our internal organs by flooding them with extra vitamins and minerals that they don't need, or worse, can't absorb. Okay, some of the internal support we talked about, I guess, right before we got started, yarrow palm capsules, and that's going to be our prize today, containing grapeseed oil, vitamin C, and they are essential for collagen production. Also includes a melon extract, which really gives for glowing skin. I would also include here Terrazyme. I might even include PB Assist. We want to improve skin firmness and reduce skin imperfections, illuminate and brighten the complexion. We want that powerful antioxidant effect. Also improving our cellular health, maybe our mitochondrial production and health, and finally supporting our healthy metabolic function. These two products with your LLV and your MetaPower Advantage are really going to be hero products for you feeling refreshed on the inside and out. So we want to take these products daily. What's in our yarrow palm? A pomegranate oil, and of course our CPTG essential oils. Including things like celery seed, frankincense, palmarosa, turmeric, and melissa. So all of those are super expensive essential oils, hard to kind of mix up. Palmarosa is not available as a single at all. I think this is a product that really performs in a way that's just extraordinary. I take mine every day. I make sure that I have it in my daily rotation, and I hope you do too. Next product we want to take a look at. There we are. There's our PB Assist. I guess the PD Assist with the water, if you will, is going to promote a positive balance and proliferation of beneficial bacteria. Our gut bacteria and our gut health in general is going to be affected by what we eat, but also how do we protect that gut microflora. We want to be eating foods that in general are going to promote a healthy gut microbiome. And then we don't want to destroy that with, I don't know, antibiotics or other things or toxic chemicals that are going to basically bring that microbiome down to a level that really is not helping us at all. We've got to be increasing our fiber, increasing our intake of probiotics, and keeping ourselves healthy. All of the products that I mentioned so far, plus your MetaPower products, are really going to help you with that. And then, of course, we need to drink water as much as we can. Water hydrates the skin, helps us to feel better about ourselves, can cut cravings if that's something that you are being troubled with, but also flushing out the toxins can help our skin to look better. Let's talk about skincare line. So first I'm going to talk a little bit about Virage. So we know that Virage is a four product line, right? We've got everything from moisturizing to cleansing. I like this line, but I mostly use it in the summer months. So here in the United States, or where I live at least, I do live in a temperate climate. Now, as I'm moving into winter, I'm going to kind of put my Virage aside and I'm going to pick up something else. But I love my Virage line in the summertime. And if you live in a warm climate year round, this may be the perfect combination for you. We've got nourishing plant extracts, of course, essential oils, and some other select ingredients. It does promote optimal lipid balance, and that same balance that we see in healthy skin can be promoted and enhanced with the use of Virage. I love Virage, and it is a really kind of a lightweight moisturizer, cleanser, and so on to put underneath your makeup. And I feel like 4 products is just about right. That's more or less what I want to be able to handle on a daily basis. I don't want to be, I know some people have these really long beauty routines. I don't know where they find the time, to be honest with you. We see a lot of influencers on different channels saying, yes, they apply this and this serum and on and on and on, but it seems like a lot. And maybe, I guess that's their job though. What can I say? Okay, let's now look at the HD Clear line, which I think is an important addition to anybody's routine. And you may be able to substitute out some of the HD Clear products. I have to say, even though I don't have blemishes, I very frequently buy just the foaming face wash, because I love what it does for my skin. It does not strip the natural oils from the skin. It doesn't leave the skin feeling dry. And yet I like the foaming action. For me, that's, I don't know, it's just the way that I want to cleanse my skin. So it manages the levels of sebum on the skin and the levels of oil. It rinses away clear. It can promote cellular renewal. For me, it works really well. Let's see if some of you have used it as well. And these are my favorite, absolutely positively my favorite. And my number one product of all of these on the screen is the hydrating cream. I know that's been in and out of stock this year. And some of you are thinking, why is she talking about this? Because we haven't seen it for a while. But I know that it's going to be back in rotation fairly soon, hopefully where you live also. But everything from the invigorating scrub to the pore reducing toner, all of these are just amazing, amazing products. I love the way they smell. I love the way they act. And also the freshness of the products. Many of the products that we see, commercial products that are sold in department stores or in pharmacies or other sorts of mass market produced products, actually have tons of chemicals and preservatives in them so that they will last a really long time. What I like about these products is they're meant to be purchased and used quickly so that they refresh your skin and then you're moving on to the next thing. They're not meant to be kept for years and years. So if you bought a hydrating cream, I don't know, when you first joined doTERRA 5 years ago, take a look at it and check that expiration date. We don't want to give you anything that's expired. We don't want you putting any products on your skin that are expired either. So keep an eye out for how fresh is your cream. And maybe it's time to just buy yourself a new one. Treat yourself. It's almost the holidays. I think you can splurge. Okay. And none of these products are super expensive, as we know. So this is a great time. to take a look at some of these products. Obviously, we have key technologies, including vitamins A, C, D, and E. We've got some cruciferous vegetable extracts, which is really kind of cool. Black cumin seed, marine spring water, biomimetic peptides, summer snowflake. I'm not even sure what summer snowflake is, but I think it's a type of a plant. And finally, a milk peptide complex. We're going to stimulate collagen, smooth the skin, reduce appearance of wrinkles, minimizes mechanical creasing. So mechanical creasing is like you tend to sleep on the pillow and crease up your skin every day. Eventually, you're going to get a crease there, even though during the day you're letting it down. Minimizing pore appearance, and then minimizing the effects of skin discoloration. All of these are wonderful products to use under makeup if you're a lady or if you're a gentleman. You can be using these either in the day or in the night. And honestly, you don't have to use them all. You can pick and choose. I tend not to use some of the products just because I don't need them, or I will alternate between the anti-aging moisturizer and the hydrating cream. I won't apply both at once. That's just not my jam. I use less of the toner. Also, toner, not something that I use every day. I find that if I wash my face, if I cleanse my face, take off my makeup, I don't also need a toner. My face is I don't know, it's happy the way it is. So that's my jam. Maybe in the comments you can let me know what you've been using and see how you're feeling, how your skin is feeling. And I'm going to be answering some questions at the end. And if you have any questions and you're watching this on YouTube, please post your comments right below. So if you are thinking of putting some sort of a facial box together for yourself, you could include in it the LLV, the Terrazyme, the PB Assist, and the Virage, the small Virage kit. And then you're going to get your free product of the month, especially if you order this before the 15th. The month. You want to use your oils as much as possible. We want to try to teach others if we possibly can. I love all of these products. I'm very, very grateful that they were created and that we have this, this broad variety of products available to us. And I think in general, it's a wonderful product line. If you are live, please stay on. We're going to be giving away some wonderful products today. If you are on the YouTube channel, thank you so much for having been here. Have a wonderful week. And we'll see you back here next week. And we'll be talking about all things, beauty and wellness. So have a wonderful week, everyone. Bye-bye now.